When Fatima locked eyes with Kola in the crowd, her legs grew weak. She fell to her knees, tears pouring down her face. "Kola, forgive me," she cried. "Forgive me for rejecting you, for neglecting you, for breaking your heart. I was blind. I was proud. I hurt you, yet you still stood by me." Her voice shook with shame. Kola quickly rushed to her side and pulled her up. He held her by the shoulders, looking into her eyes with love. "Fatima," he said softly, "I forgave you long ago. I don't care what the whole world thinks about you. I love you. I want to be with you. I don't care about kingship, money, or fame. All I want is you." Fatima gasped. His words hit her heart like arrows of truth. She sobbed harder as Kola dropped to one knee. "Fatima, will you marry me?" This time, there was no pride in her heart. Only deep peace. She embraced him, crying loudly. For the first time in weeks, her heart felt calm. Kola did not cover his nose. He did not turn his face away. He held her close, despite the heavy smell spreading around them. Fatima thought to herself, "When my body smelled of roses, I turned him away. But now, when the smell is worse than ever, he still hugs me. Oh, how foolish I was." Hand in hand, Kola walked her home. The road was lined with villagers who had just fled the pageant hall. Their noses were still covered with cloth, their faces twisted in disgust. But their eyes widened in shock. They whispered among themselves, "Look. Look at that man. He is walking beside her. He is hugging her as if she does not smell at all." For the first time in her life, Fatima did not care about their whispers. She only cared about the flute player beside her. That night, Fatima could not sleep. She tossed on her bed, her eyes wet with tears. She remembered how she had prepared for days for the pageant. How she had worn her finest clothes, perfumes, and jewelry. She had dreamed of choosing a noble husband. But instead, shame covered her again. "Those same villagers who praised me just weeks ago laughed at me today," she thought bitterly. "They hailed me like a goddess when I smelled like roses, but now they treat me like dirt. People are wicked. They only love you when you are perfect." But in her sadness, one thought warmed her heart. Kola stood for me. Kola covered my shame. Kola held me when everyone else ran away. She smiled faintly. Then another thought hit her like a spear. I must find a permanent solution to this odor. I cannot live like this forever. Her decision was made. She rose from her bed and went straight to her father's chambers. The king was awake too, sitting on his royal chair, his face heavy with worry. When he saw his daughter, he opened his arms. "My child." Fatima fell to his chest and wept. "Father, why me? Why must I suffer for something I cannot control?" The king sighed deeply. "Fatima, there is something you do not know. A truth we hid from you for many years." Fatima looked up in shock. "What truth, father?" The king began to tell the story. "When you were 8 years old," the king said slowly, "there was a poor old woman who used to sweep the palace yard. She was never paid, but she hoped your mother would give her scraps of food. She had a little daughter, the same age as you. One evening, after a long day with visitors, your mother only managed to gather a small plate of leftover rice. She gave it to you, telling you to give it to the old woman and her child. When you reached the gate, the old woman's daughter ran happily to collect the food. But when her hand touched yours, you grew angry." Fatima gasped. "Me? Angry?" The king nodded, his voice heavy. "Yes, my daughter. You threw the food on the ground. You insulted her, saying she and her mother smelled bad, and that if she ever touched you again, you would tell me to chase them away from the palace." Fatima trembled, her tears falling freely. The king continued. "The old woman was heartbroken. She screamed curses at you, saying you would suffer an incurable body odor all your life. We were all there, your mother, the servants, even villagers passing by. Her words made our skins crawl with goosebumps. But you laughed and went back inside to play." Fatima shook her head violently. No, I don't remember this." The king's eyes filled with regret. "That same night, you fell terribly sick. You nearly died. A healer gave you a potion that saved your life, but from that day, the odor began. We tried everything, doctors, magicians, healers. Nothing worked. Even the healer himself was shocked. The curse had taken root. Fatima broke down completely. She wept so hard the room shook. Her father held her tightly. "My poor daughter," he whispered. "We hid this truth to protect you. But now you must know." She cried until she had no more strength, and finally fell asleep in her father's arms. The next morning, Fatima woke with swollen eyes. Her heart was heavy. She remembered Kola's love, but also the villagers' mockery. She thought of the curse, the shame, and her future. "If I marry Kola," she whispered to herself, "he will suffer. The villagers will insult him. He will regret marrying me. No. I must set him free." That evening, she went to the village square. Kola was already there, waiting for her with joy in his eyes. When he saw her, he ran to hug her. But as he held her close, he felt her tears. "What is it, Fatima? Why are you crying?" She told him everything her father had revealed. The curse. The old woman. The hopelessness of her condition. "Kola," she said through tears, "our marriage will never work. The villagers will laugh at you. They will mock you every day. I cannot let you suffer because of me. Let us break up, so you can marry another woman." Kola's eyes filled with tears. He held her face firmly. "Fatima, listen to me. I don't care about their insults. I don't care about their mockery. I love you. I will never leave you. The curse has taught you humility. You are no longer that proud little girl. You are better now. And I want to share your life, no matter what it costs." Fatima sobbed and clung to him. His words poured hope into her heart. From that day, they met every evening at the square, their love growing stronger. One morning, Kola went to his father's carpentry shop. The smell of fresh wood filled the air. His father, a strong, quiet man with rough hands, was carving a mortar. "Papa," Kola began softly, "I want to marry Princess Fatima." His father stopped carving. He looked up slowly. "The princess, with the curse?" Kola nodded. "Yes, Papa. I love her. I have never loved anyone like this." His father sighed and dropped the knife. "My son, you are my only child. I fear for you. People will mock you. They already do. Are you ready for that pain?" Kola's voice did not shake. "I am ready. I have seen her heart. She is not proud anymore. She has changed. Papa, she is kind, soft, and humble now." The old man stared at his son for a long time. He had never seen Kola speak with such fire. Finally, he said, "You have never begged me for anything before. Today, I see a man in love." Kola stepped closer. "Papa, bless us. Stand with us." The old man nodded slowly. "I bless you. And, there may be a way to help her." Kola's eyes widened. "A way?" His father lowered his voice. "My elder brother, your uncle, lives by the sacred river, near the edge of the village. He is a powerful healer. He has lifted worse curses. But he is poor and not popular. That is why the king never called him all these years." Kola's heart jumped. "Papa, do you think he can help?" "I believe he can," his father said. "If you convince Fatima to come to him, the curse may be broken." Kola grabbed his father's hands with joy. "Thank you, Papa. I will tell her today." At evening, Kola told Fatima everything. They sat under their usual tree in the village square. "Your uncle?" Fatima asked, surprised. "Yes," Kola said. "He is a true healer. Many people were free because of him." Fatima's face fell. "Kola, I am tired. I have done many rituals. I have drunk potions. I have bathed in herbs. I have fasted and prayed. Each time, hope rises, and then it dies. My heart cannot carry another disappointment." Kola held her hands and spoke gently. "I know. But please, one last time. If it fails, I will never ask again. But if it works, your life will change forever." Fatima looked into his eyes. She saw his faith. She felt his love. She nodded slowly. "All right. For you, I will try one last time." News spread like fire. The princess is going for a final cleansing at the sacred river. On the day of the ritual, everyone came, villagers, market women, hunters, even children climbing trees to see. The king and queen arrived with guards and elders. Drums sounded, then went quiet as the old healer, Kola's uncle, stepped forward. He was thin, with bright eyes and a calm face. He bowed to the king, then turned to Fatima. "Daughter," he said kindly, "fear not. If your heart is humble, the earth will show us mercy." He placed a white cloth on the ground, gave Fatima a calabash to hold, and began to chant. He sprinkled river water and drew signs in the sand. He performed the ritual once. Nothing changed. He performed it again. Still, nothing changed. Whispers rose at once. "Aha! We said it. Her curse has no cure. She will smell forever." Fatima's head dropped. Tears fell on the white cloth. The queen covered her face. The king's jaw tightened. Kola clenched his fists, fighting his own tears. The old healer did not stop. He went deeper into prayer. He burned herbs, spoke softly to the wind, and placed his ear to the ground as if the earth itself was speaking. Then he stood up sharply. "I see it now," he said. "This ritual is not for the river. The root of the curse is in the forest." The old woman and her little daughter, after they left the palace that night, went to the evil forest. Hunger killed them. Their bones lie scattered at a spot the spirits have marked. "We must go there. The princess must appeal to their bones." A shiver passed through the crowd. The king gave the command at once. "Guards, lead the way." They entered the forest in a long line. Birds flew away. The air felt heavy. The healer led the way until he stopped at a clearing. "There," he said, pointing. On the ground, half covered by leaves and sand, lay bones, small ones and larger ones, quiet, white, and dry. The crowd went silent. An altar was set up. The healer turned to Fatima. "Daughter, remove your royal cloth," he said gently. "Today you must come as a servant, not as a princess." They dressed her in rags. They put a plate of food in her hands, the kind of food a hungry person would pray for. The healer stood behind her and raised his staff. "Call them," he said. Fatima fell to her knees, shaking. "Old mother, little sister, please hear me. I was wicked. I was proud. I threw away your food. I mocked your smell. I hurt your hearts. Please, forgive me." The wind lifted softly. The trees rustled. A cold air moved around them. In the hush, two shadows formed, weak and pale, the spirit of an old woman and a little girl. The crowd gasped and fell back. Fatima pressed her forehead to the ground and wept. "Forgive me," she cried. "I have suffered because of my wickedness. I accept my wrong. Please, show me mercy." The spirits spoke like a soft echo. "We forgive you. Pour the food on our bones," the old woman's spirit added. "Feed the place where we starved." With trembling hands, Fatima poured the food gently over the bones. The tears from her face mixed with the food and sand. At once, her body went weak. She slumped and fell into a deep sleep. "Carry the princess," the king shouted. The guards lifted her carefully and hurried back to the palace. For 5 days, Fatima slept. No movement. No words. The queen sat by her side, praying. The king paced the room, silent and worried. Kola stayed at the palace gates every day, waiting and watching. On the 6th day, just as the sun touched the window, Fatima's eyes opened. She took a slow breath, and paused. There was no smell. Not even a little. Her body felt light, like the weight of many years had fallen off her. "Mother," she whispered, "smell me." The queen leaned close, then burst into joyful tears. "Roses," she cried. "My daughter smells like roses." The king ran in and held them both. Drums sounded across the palace. Joy filled the land. That evening, the king declared a great feast. There was music, meat, dancing, and laughter. The villagers who once mocked her now clapped and sang her name. When the drums paused, Fatima stood with Kola and held his hand. "My people," she said, her voice steady, "today, before everyone, I announce that I will marry Kola, the man who loved me when no one did." The crowd roared with cheers. The king and queen nodded with smiles. Kola's father blessed them. Plans for the marriage began at once. News of Fatima's permanent healing spread beyond the kingdom. One afternoon, Prince Ozo, son of King Okoro from the neighboring land, arrived with soldiers and bright chariots. He demanded to see the princess. People whispered, "Is he not the one who was betrothed to her at birth?" Yes. His mother, the king's second wife, planned it so he could gain a throne through marriage. But when the curse started, he ran away and broke the engagement. Now he returned, handsome, proud, and smiling as if nothing had happened. He began to shower Fatima with gifts, gold, silk, perfumes, bracelets, and clothes finer than anything in her father's palace. Servants carried boxes into the palace daily. Kola heard about the prince's gifts. His heart felt heavy. That evening, at their meeting place in the square, he spoke honestly. "Fatima, are you thinking about the prince? Tell me the truth." Fatima looked at him with soft eyes and took his hands. "Kola, listen to me. I choose you. The prince is wasting his time. My heart already has an owner." Kola's eyes watered. "Say it again." "I choose you," she repeated, smiling. "No gold can buy what we have." Kola let out a long breath and hugged her. For that night, his heart was calm. But Prince Ozo did not stop. He came to the palace unannounced. He followed Fatima to the market. He stood outside the palace singing praises loudly. He kept stalking her, still bringing gifts. One afternoon, Fatima faced him at the palace gate, angry and tired. "Prince Ozo, stop this. I will not marry you. Leave me alone." The prince smiled coolly. "I will leave you on one condition." "What is it?" she asked. "Travel with me to my kingdom for a few days. See my home. See my people. If, after that, you still refuse me, I will stop forever." Fatima wanted peace. She wanted him to stop disturbing her and Kola. She agreed. "My mind is made up," she said to herself. "After this trip, he will leave me in peace, and I will marry Kola." They arrived at Prince Ozo's land in bright chariots. The people sang and danced. Women spread cloth on the road. Children shouted her name. It was clear the prince was loved in his land. The palace took her breath away. It was the most beautiful place she had ever seen, gold everywhere, shining floors, tall pillars, carved doors. Even her father's palace could not compare. The king, Ozo's father, welcomed her with a grand feast. Drummers played. Dancers twirled. Fatima was treated like a goddess. When she entered the room prepared for her, she stopped. Every corner was filled with gifts, boxes upon boxes. Clothes, jewelry, perfumes, shoes, headpieces, everything a princess could desire. As she opened the gifts, Prince Ozo walked in. "Why do you keep rejecting me?" he asked smoothly. "Is it because of that poor flute player who cannot even afford food, talk less of a wedding?" Fatima frowned. "Do not speak of Kola like that. He is a good man." But inside, her heart pinched. She knew the truth. Kola had been struggling for more than 6 months to save for the bride price and her royal rights. He had not yet succeeded. Prince Ozo stepped closer. "Let us settle him. I will give him a huge sum of money. He will become rich. He can marry another woman and forget you. That is better than you mixing royal blood with poverty." Fatima felt offended. She wanted to reject the idea at once. But she forced herself to stay calm, not to spoil the moment. "I will think about it," she said quietly. She stayed in Ozo's kingdom for 3 days. Every day, she was pampered and praised. Her pride began to rise again. She felt tall. She felt important. Meanwhile, Kola waited at their usual spot every evening. He brought his flute. He watched the road. She did not come. He worried but kept hoping. When Fatima returned home, the memory of the gold palace stayed in her mind. The gifts, the singing, the respect, it all played again and again in her head. A dangerous thought entered her heart. Maybe it is better to give Kola money and let him become rich. He will be fine. I am a royal. Maybe I should not marry a poor flute player. She struggled with the thought for 2 days. Then she made up her mind. I will break up with Kola. The next day, She went to their usual spot. Kola was already there, sitting on the low stone, waiting, eyes full of hope. Fatima, he said, jumping up with a wide smile. He hugged her tightly. You are back. I was worried. But when they sat, he saw the worry on her face. What is it? Tell me. Fatima took a deep breath. Kola. Prince Ozo is persistent. He still wants to marry me. He says he will take care of you and your father. He will give you a lot of money, gold, and land. You will become a rich man. Please, do not be angry. Just accept the offer. As she spoke, tears filled Kola's eyes. His ears could not believe what they were hearing. His lips trembled. He looked at her as if someone had stabbed him in the chest. Fatima, you want to pay me off, he whispered. After everything? To be continued. If you want the part 3, like this video, comment I want part 3 and subscribe so YouTube can notify you when part 3 drops.